Hey, what's going on, Tackle Warehouse fans? Jake here, bringing you this week's episode of What's New at TW. Hopefully it's cooling down where you're at. Fall is just right around the corner. The bass fishing's about to pick back up again. I know it's hot right now, but now is a great time to get stocked up and get ready for that fall bite. So great one that's going to be a good crankbait for that upcoming fall bite as well. So we got a new crank from Duo Realis. I'm super stoked about this little guy. I love, small little cranks like this. So this is the new Duo Realis 48 MR Kabuki Bottom Rush. As you can see, it's a tiny little crankbait. It's under 2 inches, but it weighs 3/8 of an ounce. One of the cool things about it, it does have a square bill on it. It is a little bit longer than most of your square bills out there because this thing runs about 8 feet. Another cool thing about this crank is you can see how round and how bulbous this crankbait is. So what they did with this is they wanted that really small profile, but there's a lot of mass in it. So it gets down, but it has much higher buoyancy. So it has a really high float to it. So it's made to grind and bounce through, heavy rock and thick cover and bounce and deflect and get out of that kind of stuff. So really aggressive crankbait, but in a really small package and gets you down a little bit deeper than what you would get with a normal square bill crankbait. They got some awesome finishes on it. Sticky, sharp, nano-coated treble hooks. Be super careful with those. They will get you. And then on the front right there, if you get this in the mail and you think you're missing a split ring, that's not a mistake. So they designed this to be fished without a split ring. This is made to be fished with a snap, kind of old school. It helps free up the action a little bit, and then you can change out baits really quickly, have a few different colors on board, and dial into what the fish are on that day. Sweet little crankbait by Duo Realis. You definitely want to check that guy out. Next one up from DSTYLE, we got the new Torque worm. So a really good straight tail worm. So DSTYLE is from Japan. The owner of their company has won tons of AOIs and tournaments out there in Japan. So this guy builds some really good quality stuff. With this little worm, when you pull it out of the package, these things are loaded with scent and oil and salt and all that stuff. We actually had to wipe down the table when we put this thing out. So if you're looking for a worm that's actually packed, loaded with scent, this is one you want to look at for sure. So it's a fully ribbed body. Got that nice spade tail on the back there, so you're gonna get that nice, real subtle quivering action that you would get with a straight tail worm. One thing I noticed too on the ribbing right here where the egg sac would be, it's got a series of ridges, and so if you want to run like a small Texas rig or like a rebar worm on a drop shot, you're gonna have somewhere to put that hook point and kind of keep it protected to be more weedless. But also if you're doing like a Nico rig or wacky rig, those little ridges right there will hold your rings right there in place. You're not going to slide up and down on you. Just something that they thought about. We got them in a couple sizes, a few colors. Great straight tail worm to add to the arsenal. All right, we got a bunch of stuff from Lunkerhunt. So the first one, this one came out at ICAST. There's a cool topwater that we're excited to check out and hopefully get to use it before the frog bite dies off. So this is the new Skitter lizard. So it's a topwater. It's a hollow body design, so it's similar to like your hollow body frog. But as you can see, it's a full body lizard design. And when we first saw it, I didn't know how it was going to set up and how the hookup was going to be on it. So it's got the double hooks on it like you would with the traditional frog, but it's got all this extra body back here. And they've incorporated a stinger hook that's actually, there's a slot in the middle of the tail. And that stinger hook's on a harness. It's not going to go anywhere. And you got a whole lot of bite when that thing comes up and they bite down. That stinger hook's going to get them. This is going to be great for, those lakes that get a ton of pressure on frogs, especially, here locally when the frog bite starts. Every boat going down the lake has got a frog tied on, and you see those things flying all day long. So this is something a little bit different, a little bit different of a profile. And instead of your standard, like skirted frog that you're just going to twitch along the surface, this has got this big ribbed tail. So you can see it in the topwater footage that we have of it. When you reel this thing, it gets a nice kind of buzzing action. It's not real loud like maybe someone like the kicking frogs. It's kind of in between, but still something different, something that the fish haven't seen. Great. It's gonna be great for ponds, and then those lakes that just get a ton of frog pressure might be something that be worth looking into and trying out. The next one. So we got the new, from Lunkerhunt as well, we got the new spicy revealer tube. So if you're trying to get that tail end of the tube bite, you're in some of that northern water before you get iced over, check out this new tube. So what's great about this tube, it's a quad dip tube. So it's thick, it's durable, it's loaded with salt, everything you want in a tube. And the spicy revealer comes from, it has different inner colors than it does outer colors. So when these little skirt tentacles go through the water and pulsate and flare, you're gonna get that kind of secondary action of that color on the inside flaring out, and you're just gonna get a little bit different look than your standard tube that's all one color. So just changing it up a little bit. I believe they're like $4.99 a pack. If you're trying to catch a tail into the tube bite, check out that new Lunkerhunt tube. Last up from Lunkerhunt, we got a bunch of new kits. So Lunkerhunt came out with a bunch of kits this year. So we got a bunch of Topwater kits. I just got 3 of them here. So we got their prop series, Topwater combo, and then we got a pop and frog combo. Like I said, there's a bunch of different kits. I believe we have 7 or 8 different Lunkerhunt kits. What's great about these, you're getting a whole series of lures. If you're looking for some frogs, just a selection of lures, maybe, buzzing style lures, whatever you're looking for, they have something in their lineup that will suit all the different anglers out there. What's great about these kits too, when you start adding up the cost of it, you're gonna save a few extra bucks per kit. So if you were to buy all these baits separately, it's gonna cost you more than it would be to just buy a kit. So great gift, give them to a kid who are going to a pond, they can go to town with all these. Or if you already use all these baits, it save you a little bit of money when you buy them in the 3-pack versus separately. All right, last up, an exciting reel from Shimano. So we got the new Curado BFS. So highly anticipated reel. We've been waiting for a long time to get this in. So this Curado is gonna be a finesse style reel. So these BFS reels have been super popular in Japan, and there's more and more of them coming out on the market. What's unique about this Curado is it has a super, super shallow spool. So it only holds 50 yards at 8 pounds. So this is made to cast really light baits, really small finesse baits on bait casting equipment. So when you used to have to use a spinning rod for certain finesse applications, now you can throw it on a bait caster. It's got their new FTB braking system. And if you're familiar with any of the older generation Curados or Shimano braking systems, on the inside, the brake system is not on the spool itself. The brake system is actually on the side plate. So this utilizes a centrifugal and a magnetic brake at the same time. So you get phenomenal braking out of it. You can, there's videos of guys testing this thing out, and they're taking, 1/8 ounce size jig head with a, like a 2-inch swim bait, and they're getting 100-foot cast on 8 pound, and you don't even have to thumb the spool when you get it dialed in. So a phenomenal reel. Something I wouldn't use for any heavy applications like flipping or stuff like that. It's not made for that. It's gonna be your finesse reel. It's got the X-Ship technology, cross carbon drag, Agane body, so a bunch of the Shimano features that come in all the other Curados. So it's packed full of features, comes in 189 bucks. It's a 8.2 to 1 gear ratio. And Shimano's actually got a couple of rods in their X-Bride and Zodius line. I believe they're 7.2 medium lights that are set up specifically to fish with this reel. So you get the rod, the reel, and you get an ultra finesse bait casting setup. It's just a little bit more efficient than spinning rods. Some guys don't like to fish spinning rods, so there's finesse setup for bait casting equipment now in the new Curado lineup. So check that out from Shimano. All right, that's gonna wrap it up for today. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of What's New at Tackle Warehouse. As always, for more information or to purchase any of these products seen here today, click shop or link in the description below. If you enjoyed this week's video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, let us know down in the comments which one of these products you're most excited about. If you enjoyed this week's video, I forgot the line. Oh, it's got the drag noise. I forgot the drag noise, Daniel. It's got the clicker on it. It's the best selling point they got.